Hey everybody, it's Craig. So what we're going to be doing today is looking at this Coleman 228E. And this was my grandfather's. And he passed a year ago, and my parents told me to take it out of his house. So looking at it, it's in really nice shape. I busted off the cap last year because I couldn't get it off. As you can see, it's rusted, and it was rusted on. And there was rust inside the tank, so we're going to have to clean that out really good. And I will try to see if I can show you that. No, it actually doesn't look too bad in there. There is some rust, surface rust, but there is some bare metal as well. So we can take care of that. So we're going to take this apart, clean it up, put some new parts in here, and get this thing running. It's a dual mantle and has a nice Coleman logo there, sticker here. It's not too beat up, basically sat on a shelf. And we'll see if you can see that. It is built date is August 1955, and that would make this a 228E based on the model year. So we're going to crack into this and probably have a couple different parts here to this video, so they're not all too long, but we'll tear into this and then probably make it a few different part video. And we'll remove the top. We're going to remove the glass, which is this globe, which just slides right out. Careful with this. And this looks like it was placed upside down. We have here with this model, you can see it, this is the flint. I want to get a replacement here. So there's a little flint rod will come down, and then you push up here and strike it, and that's what lights your mantles. So we'll start taking this apart. It's not easy to do with one hand on a camera and one hand turning a screwdriver, not being able to hold the lantern, but here we go. Small brass screw, I want to be careful with. I don't want to bugger that up. So the next thing we're going to want to do is take these mantles out. These are thicker than what you can buy today. They'll still turn to dust as I go in here and pull them out. They just turn to ash right in your hand. That's what they look like. Set that one there. These are the string kind, but they do seem like a much thicker netting. My grandfather, he bought this in the 50s. He used to use this for fishing on Lake Erie at night, fishing for catfish and blue pike, which he used to catch a lot of. So we got that off. Next thing we want to do, our cleaning rod here is rusted up and frozen, so we're not going to push that. But we want to get this generator out. So right now what we're going to do is get this dismantled. I have a ultrasonic cleaner I purchased from Amazon that's coming. That'll help clean up a lot of this, but I still think a lot of these parts, like this generator, we'll have to get some new stock. So let's start with this here, 7/16, and we'll go from there. Taking a guess, that's exactly what it is. So I'm going to set you down and bust that off. Okay, this is a 7/16 nut, and it came off very easy. It was not on there really too bad at all. So we're able to loosen this up. There we go. That allows us to move this. There it goes. And that so far has gone extremely well. So here is our generator. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to loosen this, and that also looks like a 7/16. I probably could have loosened this one with my hand. I couldn't believe how loose this. It wasn't loose, but you know, for being as old as it is, it came off with hardly any pressure. But that is definitely gunked up in there. Sure feels like 3/8. Yep. That's 3/8. So we're going to work on getting that off. Well, it took a little bit of leverage to get that 3/8 nut off, but I was able to do that. You can see how locked up this is. But just a little bit, didn't have to use any heat, just more leverage on a 3/8 inch wrench. So we're pulling this just by turning the turning this. Here it comes. See what we get. So what we're going to do now that we were able to get that off is we're going to work that nut right there and then get this manifold out. So this is just a short, stubby 9/16. And I'm going to see if I can't get this to move a little bit. There it is, moving. So we are having some difficulty getting this 3/8 inch nut off. So what I think I'm going to do is see if I can loosen this base nut. Do that. Either way, this whole manifold has to come out so I can work on this and free this up. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, this mantle, or this manifold was kind of locked up here, but I think I've got it to where it's a little loose. I may be able to work it out of there. It's kind of where it's hung up. There's a screw that I already removed, which holds it in place, but should come out of here. Let's just see if I can get this. Such down here. There's shiny brass in there. Oh, okay. So there's a screw, and then there's a hole in this. This whole thing screws out. I thought it would lift out. Well, it does lift out. So you have a couple things going on here. We have a thicker section of threads up here where that screw goes in to fill that hole, locks this in place. And down here, these threads, these are it's kind of crunched in. It's thinner down here. So that's the manifold, which we're going to clean all of that up. I was able to get this nut off down here, and that came off pretty easy. Just needed a long 9/16 to fit in there. That's all that did that. So now I've got to figure out how does this thing come off. So I know I missed a bunch of stuff here, so I'm going to try to bring you up to speed. It actually took my grandfather's Craftsman wrench, 8-inch wrench, crescent wrench, to get this off, and heat. So I used my propane, and I was able to get it off. This is still pretty hot, so I'm going to try to get this off. Let me switch down again. Yeah, it was everything else came off pretty good, and this really fought me, and this is still really warm. I'm going to try to do this quick. Yeah, I just could not get this cage off because I needed to take this piece off, and this came out of the tank, you can see all the residual white, ooh, that's hot, residual junk. And that should fit in that sonic cleaner that I have coming. And that has to come off right there, so we'll take that off. That looks to be about 3/8 as well. A little bit of surface rust here, but we'll clean that up with some emery cloth. Alright, so we got this turning here. There we go. That comes out. There's our spring. And here is our leather plunger. Another thing here you're going to see is this, which I'm going to put a wrench on. Oh, this is going to come right off. This is the nut for the check valve bolt. That comes out like so. Right down in there is our check valve that we're going to take out. So we'll get a new generator. We'll get this thing working really well. See if I pull this rod out, I can feel it's just grabbing in there. This is the generator. These get gummed up. Here's the, you can see all this. Here's the wadding. Look at that. There's the spring. Yeah, why not just replace it? So I think that's what we're going to do, because it's just all nasty in there. So that is what we're going to be doing in part 2 of this video. Restoring this beautiful Coleman lantern model 228. And that is not an F, that is an E. That is an E. I thought this was an F for the longest time until I looked at it last night. And what didn't make sense to me was, how can it be an F in 1955? It can't. It must be an E. So I looked at that really, really, really hard and was able to see it's actually an E. So check that out in the next video. I want to thank everybody for watching. If you like this kind of stuff, please comment and subscribe to my channel, and we will see everybody in the next video.